If you want to help them, why not involve the beneficiaries themselves in the process so that you can make their voices heard?
How?
It could range from informal meetings throughout the project with local community members to assess their needs, to weekly meetings and discussions, to more formal measures such as expanding to actually train locals and give them responsibility and voice at every stage of the project you are implementing. This way, they will feel that they have a stake in the organization and what it is doing in their own communities.
Well, I've never done a project that involved beneficiary participation. I think our organization doesn't want to have a high level of accountability to a certain constituency. It could end up confining support for our organization to just one interest. Donors wouldn't really want beneficiaries to be involved in the project's decision making process.
Actually, our donors support this sort of formal accountability to the beneficiaries because it also increases the overall downward accountability to the beneficiaries. In our projects, we've been able to show our donors that with more long term financial support, we are better able to understand the needs of the local community first in order to best educate and support them. Encouraging local participation gives our beneficiaries more of a vested interest. By making it more of a meaningful project for them, they are more likely to support it. This also gives our project a sense of legitimacy.
So, you're saying that using formal accountability measures directly relates to the level of empowerment and sustainability?
Yes, yes. As the level of formal accountability increases, so does empowerment and sustainability. Instead of disempowering the people and creating a sense of dependence, we are making sure they are represented in our project and given voice, making it easier for us to hand our project over to the people to continue long after we leave, making it sustainable. Our donors place a high value on sustainable projects, which empower the local people. This changes the beneficiaries' and local communities' perception of the project and our organization from that of an imposing force to that of an insider who fully understands their needs and can provide meaningful assistance.
Wow, I'm beginning to think my organization should revisit its accountability practices. Kevin, my organization is really different than yours as far as its practices. I think finding a balance between the many accountabilities is more realistic. We can't always demand and receive so much funding and flexibility as your NGO, but we have to appease donor requirements and take those we serve into greater account. Internally comparing the relationship we currently have with donors with our own values is important. How receptive will my organization be? They are very set in their ways. Perhaps if there was a crisis, hurting their reputation would cause a reaction. Accountability is not a science. It's a practice that involves learning and more practice. I bet Utopia never stops practicing because it's the closest thing to perfection that can actually exist, right? Mary.